You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon?
Should I have?
It's a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Kessel Run Weekly. My name is Danny, and this is not Heather.
No, I'm Kristen.
So what's up, guys? So I have been looking forward to this all day long. I'm so excited to be talking to you guys and doing this whole new YouTube thing. Because we've been doing Facebook Live for the longest time. And, I mean, you know, I like new things. I like trying new things, right? Well, for the most part. I am pretty picky.
A picky eater, but it's okay. I still love you.
So yeah, so for those of you who don't know, this is my wife, Kristen.
Yes.
Hello.
My wife. Hello.
So you may know her from some of our streams. She was in one of our Forces of Destiny streams, or episodes. I don't know why I said streams.
Yeah.
One of our Forces of Destiny's episodes. She did our Who is Snoke episode.
It did.
As well as our most recent Darth Vader comics, Holocron Book Club. That was a little out of the norm for us, so it was really fun. So she's joining us tonight for chapters 16 through 30 of A New Dawn. Hey! So shout out to John Jackson Miller, the author of the book, if you decide that you want to join us out tonight. I know a few people kind of had mentioned it to him, which was really cool. I kind of fanboyed out a little bit. I'm gonna be honest.
I know. It's okay.
So yeah, so I'm really excited about tonight. Yeah. You want to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So, and throughout the show, guys, I mean, feel free to leave a message in the chat, say hey, ask a question, whatever you guys would like to do. If you see me looking off screen or whatever, I'm running the whole thing, so I apologize. But yeah, definitely leave a chat. We'll answer it live. We will read your comments live and things like that. Let's just keep it, you know, family friendly. So yeah,
Please.
So cool. So we'll go ahead and we will get started.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So chapters 16 through 30 of A New Dawn by John Jackson Miller. You like that?
Yeah, that was really great.
That was pretty slick, right?
Pretty slick.
Yeah. So our 16 through 30, there was a lot that happened in this.
It was. This was very action-packed, I felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the first, 15 weren't action-packed, but this one I felt like just really got the ball rolling. And,
Oh, yeah.
Short chapters, but
yeah. Well, that was actually one thing that I mentioned to Heather in our last stream, where I didn't feel like I felt like there were a lot of chapters because I mean obviously it's a junior novel and everything, so you've got shorter chapters, but more of them. I mean, there's like 60 chapters in this book. Yeah, so we're actually at the halfway point.
Never mind. I just won't.
I think it's like 60. I don't know. I could be wrong. But there are a lot of chapters in this book. But one thing that I had mentioned in the first one is that I didn't feel like there was a whole lot going on. Which, I mean, it was just kind of setting the scene and things like that. You get Kanan meeting Hera and all of that. But at the same time, like, it was... I don't know. I felt like it was slower than what I've been used to in the Star Wars books.
Yeah. Can I say, though, that I really loved it? Because if y'all have listened to any podcast that I've been in before, I'd let you know that I'm really trying to be a better Star Wars fan. I've only just recently watched the movies over the last couple years. Me and Danny literally, he's watched it, but I just finished Rebels. We're waiting on season 4. We're working on Clone Wars.
Yes.
And after, I guess it's just like, this is like really my first Star Wars novel, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was there not long ago.
Yeah, I know. So, but I think it's really cool considering I just finished watching Rebels and you just saw the whole interaction between Hera and Kanan, and I think it's really cool to kind of see that beginning section of them because you don't get that really in Rebels. They're already kind of together at this scene, and I really enjoyed watching their love start.
Their blossoming romance.
Their blossoming romance, exactly. So
yeah, well, and Heather even mentioned that too in the last. I think it was either in our Rebels episode that we just did for the season 4 trailer, or the last Holocron. She had mentioned where she had felt like that Hera and Kanan, like, they were just good friends. Like, she never actually got that it was a romantic relationship on the whole thing. But to her point, she had also said she doesn't look for that.
Well,
so
I mean, I guess there's not anything that ever says like they're together. At least not that I recall.
Not anything specific. Every once in a while, she kind of sarcastically calls him love.
Right. Like, I think
like
she
that.
at least called him that, like, 4, 5, 6 times maybe
Very
throughout the
few,
season.
but yeah.
You can see her worried for him when he gets into trouble and stuff, and when he's, out there doing things she knows he's not supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
She definitely worries about him, but, I mean, there's no real, like, status, I guess you could say, but it's there. The chemistry's there.
Oh, it's absolutely there, and it's very prominent in the book, too.
Yeah.
That's what I love, because I think I was talking to you about this just before we got on the show, where I love Chapter 15, where it was Kanan and Hera meeting for the first time, and as she's running off, he's like, I didn't get your name. Kind of like the cheesy romance thing. Tell me your name.
Right.
And things like that. And then she just cries out in the distance, Hera.
Yeah.
But I mean, as cheesy as it is, and I mean, and I'm a cheeseball. Anybody who listens to the show knows that I'm a massive cheeseball. Confirmed by the wife.
Confirmed.
I mean, I thought it was sweet. I really liked it.
It was definitely sweet.
And even though there wasn't like a romance front and center throughout these chapters 16 through 30, it's still, you could see it starting to come together.
Right.
Especially with Kanan trying to put the moves on in the bar.
Oh my gosh. Also, I just need to say too, I'm just not sure how I feel about this Kanan. Like, I know this is young Kanan. This is Kanan still learning. But he's just so cocky to me, and he's just not the Kanan in Rebels. Like, I feel like you kind of see the beginning of Kanan, the beginning of Rebels, and then spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Rebels, he goes blind, and he definitely matures. But I feel like you kind of, I still see the similarities between the book and then the first when he's like the first 2-3 seasons before he goes blind.
Yeah, he goes blind in season.
It's like season 2, isn't it?
Yeah, into season 2 at Twilight of the Apprentice.
Yeah, it was Twilight something. I was just like, I can't think of it. Sorry, I'm gonna get better. I promise. But I feel like you can still see those similarities as to why he's that way and stuff. It's just crazy. He spends all the time at the bars. I think it's weird.
Well, and it was funny because I was actually watching a interview from Dave Filoni before Rebels ever aired, and the way he described Kanan was the cowboy Jedi.
Well, that makes sense now. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so he describes him as this Jedi who, I mean, he's just kind of willy-nilly do whatever he wants. Doesn't care for anything. And I can't believe I said willy-nilly. That's weird. That was weird. But yeah, I mean, I could see it. Again, I don't prefer this Kanan, but I mean, at the same time, there's that part of their relationship where you actually get to see her make him want to be a better man. And there are times in these chapters that you see Kanan jump into action when he normally wouldn't have. Right. Or jump for Hera where he wouldn't have done that for anyone else.
Right. I really like throughout the novel, too, that you're learning... Kanan tries to make himself seem like he's not this helpful guy, that's not his goal, like he doesn't want to be like in a cause for anything, like that's not him. And then, I mean, I don't know, I think it's just cool seeing him in Rebels, like, you're a helpful dude, like, don't lie.
Well, right.
That's all you want.
Well, and then, and actually, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because he actually briefly talks about the Jedi Code and the Jedi Way and everything, and which was really cool and really enlightening to me. But, like, what was neat about it is, so, I mean, like you said, he acts like he just doesn't care and all this other kind of stuff, which, I mean, in all honesty, he's hurting. Technically, he's a refugee from Order 66.
Right.
He survived. His master did not. And that meant the world to him that, I mean, well, it means a lot to him that she didn't survive. I mean, that hurt. Even though Jedis aren't supposed to have attachments. But Kanan had something to say about that, which was really, really cool. Yeah. How the attachments thing was something added on later by another master.
Yes.
It wasn't part of the original Jedi Code.
Yeah, I remember him saying that. And also, during that like same little snippet right there, I kind of got the sense that Kanan's kind of, I mean, you felt like you kind of have to, because he's kind of in hiding, like you said. He's kind of a... What did you say he was?
Refugee.
Thank you, refugee. Yeah. Thank you. Oh my God, sorry. As he's like this refugee, you kind of see him distance himself from like the Jedi way, I feel like, and he doesn't really consider himself.
Well, it's almost like he feels like he's been hurt, and don't take this as canon, but it's almost as if he feels like he's been hurt by the Jedi. It's an odd way, because like literally, it's like, so they die, or they're killed rather, and all of a sudden he's like, "How could you do this to me?" Kind of. Right. Is the kind of the way that I got out of it and everything. We actually have some comments here. So let's see. Oh, Elizabeth! What's up? Elizabeth was one of our listeners from our Facebook live stream. She's been with us pretty much since the beginning. So, hey, Elizabeth, shout out to you. And Heather is joining us in spirit online.
She's not in spirit, she's there.
Well, I mean, you get it. She's not dead, guys. I promise. She's in the live chat, actually.
If you'd like to communicate with Heather via
she's
chat,
feeling a little bit.
There.
Yeah, she's feeling a little bit under the weather, but she is with us in chat. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not in spirit. That just sounded
so. Hey,
weird.
guys. That's awesome. And again, for anybody just joining us, feel free to comment on what you thought about the chapters and everything. Hey, and Pete, what's up, man? He is from Instagram. So that's cool. So what's up? But yeah, feel free, guys, to talk about the book, to talk about those chapters, if we could keep it to those chapters. Past 30, I'm not going to know what you're talking about, if we're being honest. But what's up, everyone? So back to what we were talking about. So yeah, so I feel like Kanan. Kanan is almost kind of... He's kind of mad at the Jedi Order is what I'm feeling. Yeah. But I think it's more of just that he's hurting, and so he's trying to separate himself from that life as if it's not him.
Right.
But, I mean, as you see in the very, very beginning in that prelude with Obi-Wan, I mean, you get where he's the most inquisitive Jedi. He's the one who wants to know why. And even in a little bit in the comic series that I've read, he's very... He questions everything, but at the same time, he doesn't necessarily disobey.
Right.
So it's not like Qui-Gon going off and doing his own thing, because Qui-Gon don't take no rules. He just goes and screws up the galaxy by finding a little kid in the desert. But anyways.
Don't be mean. I'm
not being mean. It's true. It's canon.
But, like,
it's canon.
The story couldn't progress without the little kid in the desert.
I know. Written and directed by George Lucas. No, I'm just playing. So yeah, but anyways, so I mean, I kind of get that sense from Kanan that he's that's the reason he's distancing himself from that. Not necessarily that he doesn't believe in the Jedi way or that he doesn't consider himself a Jedi in any way. Right. It's more so that he kind of he's just hurt, I think.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole bunch of information to kind of, like, send you on this
Right.
path of into the mind of Kanan, but, you know.
I think we're getting more of that, which is really cool.
Right.
So, yeah. But, yeah, so that was really interesting. So that's an episode that Heather and I, or you and I, whoever and I... All of us collectively together. Elizabeth, Pete, join in. But yes, so that's an episode for another time talking about the Jedi Code because I'm really interested in that.
Right.
Kind of makes me think of what else is not actually like part of the code.
I know.
Like literally, like what is the core code? Kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah. Because the whole attachment thing has always been a hang-up for me. It was for Anakin, too, which, I mean, it was just him trying to make an excuse for him doing what he knew he wasn't supposed to. Right. But the whole thing about, well, Jedi are supposed to love, but how can you love if you're forbidden attachments? And kind of things like that, because it's kind of like you're being allowed attachments. I don't know. It's weird. But, I mean, it's literally like...
Different episode.
It's a different episode. But yeah. So yeah. So, but I mean, going with the action and everything that happened, Vidian really showed out this time. Grievous 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember in y'all's last episode about it, I know you had said he kind of reminded you of Darth Vader, but then Heather said Grievous, and I feel like he's like a weird mix.
Yeah.
Because Grievous is like strictly, obviously, a robot. Like, I don't think he's got any human elements to him whatsoever. And, you know, and obviously Vader there's like kind of him
and his apparatus.
Yeah, barely. But I don't know. I kind of wish. I kind of wish that we could. I don't know. There's not a picture of him, is there? Like, we don't have a.
I haven't seen one. I mean, I'm sure there's something on Wikipedia or something like that. I'll probably look it up like later. I probably should have come prepared or something like that.
Shame on you.
I know. Just, yep.
We'll figure out what he looks like later.
Yeah. But I mean, they keep using the word macabre on him, though, where it's just like, I mean, he's like ghastly to look at. Like, it's just some kind of like crazy metal zombie thing is what I imagine. Because, like, they talk about his piercing eyes that you can see, like, when he was scanning the yard and everything, like, these glowing eyes and all this other kind of stuff.
Yes.
And, I mean, like, just the way I envision him. So, like, I don't know if you remember, I don't know, do you know who IG-88 is yet? Bounty Hunter robot. He was in Forces of Destiny, the one who chased Sabine and Leia. I'll fight on the inside, you fight on the outside. Yeah, so like the broad shoulders of him with like a weird kind of. Shoulders. I mean, I felt like he did, but yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know, I felt like he did, but at the same time, like that's what I kind of envision him as a meld between. Like, I don't know, it's hard to, like, it's almost like Fallout, like the synths and stuff like that. I don't know, I'm getting off track. But anyways, but he looks. I mean, I'd imagine he looks absolutely just horrendous and like this weird meld of man and machine, but way more machine.
Yeah, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with, and I don't think it's somebody that I'd ever want to come in contact with.
No, I mean, he beat down a Nemoidian in the last few chapters just because he wasn't productive. And then on top of that, I mean, and it was so sad, this scene, too, because, like, I felt for him. Like, he kills Gord's wife, Law. I think, Law? Yeah, Law.
Well, it's like L-A-L, isn't it? Like
it may be L-A-L. I don't know. LOL. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, like, he kills Gord's wife, Law, and because like because one of his rivals or whatever like up the quotas.
Right. Like essentially, then, I guess he made a new quota.
Told him that he would have to triple time everything.
Right. Well, he'd already doubled it himself, and then the other guy just kind of went behind him and was like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, now that means I'm gonna have to triple it." And he's like, "Yeah." And then he looks at Law, whatever her name is, and it's like, "Can we do this?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, no, 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 no."
Well, she like mistakenly laughs at him.
Oh my gosh.
That was the best.
Oh my gosh. Like.
Because she like burst out laughing, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
You're joking, right? Ha! Sips tea.
Yeah. Right.
But no.
But yeah, but like he gets upset with her because then she's like, "No, there's no way that we can do this," and he's like, "Well, then you're no use to me."
Right.
And pushes her into the daggum acid vat. Yeah. And then on top of that, you want to tell him what happens next after that?
Oh my gosh! Like so,
it was horrible.
After he pushes her into this like acid thing, he gets like this pole that's supposed to withstand the acid and just kind of like pokes her down to make her disappear further. So he's just like poking her down.
She's
like,
sitting here like screaming and everything.
Yeah, she's like, help, help. And he's just like poking her down to the acid further, like, all right.
And he's like, the only thing you can do now is dissolve faster.
Right. And you know, that's
like,
the comment he made
gosh.
too.
Yeah.
Before all this, before she even got pushed in, he made the comment about like that the only thing
the
that's in there,
droids.
the droids, yeah. And I guess he, you know, essentially asked her why the droids are the only ones in there doing anything, and she's like, well, because of this acid, like, it's okay if we lose a droid.
Splashback and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's okay if we lose a droid, but he's like, wouldn't it be more productive if it was like
organics?
Yeah, I was like, he doesn't say people. I was like, I don't know what this word is. Terrible, but
Star Wars in your funny language.
Yeah.
But yeah, be more faster with the organics, and she's like, well, what if they fall in during the quakes and stuff like that?
He's like, they'll disappear quicker.
Exactly,
It's just
they'll disappear quicker.
Oh,
it's
God.
like, I mean, this guy has no heart whatsoever.
Why
I'm pretty sure it's mechanical.
Laugh and thought he was all of a sudden making a joke. I don't know, but nothing was joke worthy there.
No, but yeah, that was something
sure.
That
was. I thought I don't know. Maybe I just don't recall from the first few chapters, but I don't remember him being this brutal.
No, he had. Well, now he had his thing where he was all about productivity.
Yeah.
And he beat down the Nemoidian overseer and things like that. That was as brutal as he got, though. But I mean, it was enough to show a little bit of that temper that you knew you didn't want to mess with this guy. Right. So it was just enough to be like, oh God, what have I done? So yeah. Elizabeth actually commented, said, Vidian creeps me out. Not much of the human man left. None at all.
Yeah.
Like, I always hear them say Vader is more machine than man. I was watching A New Hope the other day, and that's what Obi-Wan said. More machine than man and all this other kind of stuff. No. There are worse. There are worse things. Like, this guy's worse than Grievous.
I know. Star Wars keeps producing worse people. Like,
this guy is horrendous. So yeah.
I'm sure we're ready for Snoke. I don't think we are. I don't think we are.
I mean, I don't see any cybernetics with him, but at the same time, he's a whole nother kind of creep. But anyways.
Just look at his face. Like,
I know. He went through something. I hope it was Luke. But anyways. Different episode. See, we get the ideas on the fly, guys. This is how we do.
Write this down real quick.
Right? So yeah, so in a last stand, I mean, I'd like to think that I do this for you. But in a last stand, Gord tries to attack and imprison arrest Vidian for killing his wife.
Yeah, that was really sad because, right after that happened, Hera was trying to figure out more information about that dude. I can't remember his name now.
Vidian?
No, it wasn't Vidian. It was somebody else. She was trying to figure out something. I don't know. We'll get back to it. Anyway, she was trying to... God, you know who I'm talking about. Somebody who was on the planet like 20 years ago. But he
Lemuel something. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but yeah.
Anyway, that dude.
Yeah.
So she was trying to, that's why she snuck in the first place with his badge, because she was trying to figure out more information about him.
Right.
And she was, crawling, above, the pipes and stuff. I don't know if I'm, pointing to pipes. There's nothing here, guys, I promise. I'm just a hand visual person. She's crawling on the pipes, though, trying to, make her way out, I'm guessing, because she's already been caught, so she's, trying to, sneak way out. And, she sees, Law get pushed in and watches this guy poke her down, and then she sees he almost jumps in after her.
Oh yeah.
Grodd, is that his name?
Gord.
God,
yeah.
So many weird names. I'm so sorry. Gord tries to jump in after her, and she's she knows she's not stronger than him, but she's like I'm either going in with him or I'm gonna talk him out of this, because
it was so sad.
I know.
But and it even affected Hera. I mean, obviously affected Hera.
I mean, how could it not?
But I love the kind of internal monologue she had, where she was like, "This is what I needed to see.
Right.
This is what I needed to remember to fight for." Kind of like this is the dream, or not the dream, but this is what the vision is, guys. This is what we're fighting against. Is exactly what's happening here, and I thought that was really profound. Oh, you look like you had something to say.
No.
Okay.
No, I think you inserted that clip a little early, but it's okay.
Oh.
I understand.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I remember that happening later.
The whole thing about this is what I need to see?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit after that, but I mean, I don't know. Timeline, you can ask Heather, timeline means nothing to me. I jump all over the place. I don't mean to, guys. I really don't. It's just, I get excited.
Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, so we see Gord pop out of nowhere after God, I'm gonna call him Sully, but that's not. I'm telling you,
Skelly.
I should have wrote down all their names and been like, here they are.
We're gonna have you a degree in Star Wars names by the end of the episode.
So Skelly, he was out to he'd been collecting all these bombs. Which you find out after he goes on his little weird rampage with Hera about, like, the moon blowing up and whatnot, and the moon collapsing, all that shenanigans.
Yeah.
And he's been collecting all these bombs for demolition things, so he's like, I'm not going to use this bomb, I'm just going to take it with me. And so, he goes barreling in on that scooter thing.
Yeah. Oh, the speeder bike, yeah.
Speeder bike, thank you. See, I'm working on it, y'all. Speeder bike comes crashing on a speeder bike, and that was, like, insane. I thought he was dead.
I thought he was too, because he was just hanging there, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the way they described him, he was dead.
Yeah,
he was dead. But no, he was barely alive.
It looked like he went through Okadiah's blender, I think is how Kanan explained it. Which is, I would imagine, not a good look on him.
No, but then they're kind of hiding, trying to stay out of it, and Hera's like, wrong place, wrong time. Kanan's just kind of like, yeah, like, we need to figure out how to get out of here, and that's when, like, Gord.
See, I got it written for you right there.
That's why when you pointed to a vinegar, that's why I looked down for it. Because I want to call him, like, I don't know what I want to call him, y'all. But Gord, that's when he walks up, and he's like, I think he's got 4 arms, right?
Yeah.
So he's, like, packing, he's ready, and he's like, you killed my wife.
Yeah. Which I wonder, too, so I don't know if you remember in Attack of the Clones, the what is it, the diner guy, Dexter? I wonder if that's the same species, because he has 4 arms. I'm pretty sure it's 4 arms, but he's the one that you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
It tells Obi-Wan about the dart and everything.
Yeah.
I wonder if Gord and Law and Dexter are the same species.
Could be.
So I can't remember exactly what kind of species they were. If you know, leave it in the comments, guys.
Let us know.
Yes, and thank you, Heather and Elizabeth. You guys are fun too.
We try.
We love you.
I'm trying to, like, act it out for you guys, That's why I use my hands.
She's working on a screenplay and everything. One-man show. Yeah. This is going to be a production.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. And then I was just hoping, like, I knew Gord couldn't win, obviously, because Vidian.
I know, I hated it. But, I mean, like, I loved how, like, it was even, like, a side kind of thing. Oh, I felt like it was to Han or whatever. It was Gord shot first, then second, then third.
Oh, my gosh. I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, and then I just said that he shot, like,
I mean, he unloaded. Like,
he did.
He wasn't going down without taking somebody with him.
Oh no, like, he had nothing to lose at that point. Like, he lost his wife.
He was ready to jump into the acid vat, which was heartbreaking.
So he sat down for a minute, cried a little bit, and said "revenge," and got his 4 guns.
I don't think I've ever felt so much. I don't think I've ever felt so much for an alien couple. Like, I mean, that hurt me. It really did. Oh, thank you.
Don't cry. It's okay, Danny.
Oh, thank you.
Don't cry.
You do it. Anyway,
sorry, getting off topic here.
I was gonna say something too because no, you're good. I can't remember what I was gonna say, but you were talking about so Vidian and Skelly meet because there was this whole thing in the first future.
Everywhere.
I know. Sorry, guys. Please forgive me. If you'd like to send me a timeline, I'll gladly accept.
Probably should write down a timeline next time.
My fault, guys. But anyways, see, Heather keeps me in check with this. Kristen's new to this. Well, kind of new to this. She is married to me.
How dare you throw me under the bus?
Just kidding. Anyways, back to the show. But no, with Skelly and Vidian.
Yes.
So Skelly in the first few chapters was going on the whole time about how like basically getting mad at Kanan of why are you taking me from the Empire? They're looking for me. They probably want to thank me and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh!
And well, he got
deluded
his
little man.
Yeah,
like...
he got his gratitude from Vidian in these chapters. That was good, right?
Right.
His gratitude of getting the absolute mess beating out of him within an inch of his life.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can add to it. It was kind of funny once he actually escapes from Vidian.
Yeah.
And I like the part where it's like I think he says like he feels his teeth to see how many he's missing.
Yes.
And he gets angry because he realizes he's missing more. I was just like, bless him. Go to the dentist, honey.
I know. Like, the Clone Wars vet, I mean, if anybody could have escaped that, I mean, I would say Skelly. I haven't really been a fan of Skelly so far, because he's kind of gotten on my nerves. But, I mean, I guess in the point of Star Wars that we're used to, we know, hey, you idiot, don't go back to the Empire. Stay away.
Oh my gosh, right.
Why did you blow this up? They're coming
fine.
for you,
Like,
and they're not coming to thank you.
Right.
So,
he even gave, like, the enemy, like, your disc.
Yeah, right.
Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. It was insane. Like, Vidian was like, all right, cool, I'm going to show you what happens when you betray the Empire. Beat him within an inch of his life. And then Skelly's like, cool, I'm going to blow up your stuff.
Right.
And then proceeds to blow up, like,
right.
two spaceships? Or something like that.
I mean, he blows up something
at least
right
one
before
spaceship.
he even leaves, doesn't he? Because that's that explosion that happens.
Yeah, I think he lets one off in a sewer drain. Because I remember Kanan looking down at the sewer drain and getting Hera out of the way. I think that's what it was. And then he takes out a Lambda-class carrier. One of those, like...
yeah, because, I mean, he takes out something first, and then they're making their journey to that, like... It's not a helipad, but it's like they're making their way towards that, like, landing strip or whatever. And that's where, like, they're on that bus still, and that's when the ties come in, and it gets really crazy and exciting, though, because it was really cool.
It was so exciting. It was fun to hear you, because just we were listening to the audiobook and reading the book and everything. So I feel like it adds a lot more and it helps me focus. So, no shame.
I mean, it helped me focus. I like the voices, too. It helps me picture the story better, I feel like. So.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. But
and the sounds. There's sounds in it.
I know. You actually get explosions.
Right.
Guys.
You get
and Star Wars music.
Yeah, and background music.
There
like,
you
they were
go.
in the bar, and you could hear people chattering in the background. And I was like, I'm here. Like,
it's like the D&D that you could never imagine. No, I'm just teasing. No. But like, I mean, with the audiobook, like, I really enjoyed watching you listening to it and reading it and everything. Because, like, in that exciting scene, you'll get the, oh my gosh! And stuff like that, so it was really cool because I could tell you were really into it at that point.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. I like I said, I like the voices because you get to, I don't know, you get to hear them and you hear the emotion and stuff behind it a lot better. Because if you're just reading it, I mean, obviously everyone knows that even sometimes during texting or emails, wherever, like, words can be taken out of context or you read them wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I like the idea of being able to know, like, what they meant by stuff. I feel like so.
Definitely. So yeah, so cool. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Is there anything else that we needed to cover in the book? I think we hit all the high points. But we had what's her name? Zaluna.
Oh my.
We forgot about that.
Zaluna, yeah, because she's going around the whole time with that other disc too, and I like how she. Okay, so sorry, we're backpedaling again, but you know, the bar scene. We totally forgot about the bar scene, didn't we?
Yeah, well, that was a really funny scene. I was hitting like high points, but I missed it. But yeah, but no, the bar scene was really funny. You want to tell it?
Sure. I mean, we'll kind of hit it real quick. You know, just a little snippet. I thought it was funny because, you know, Zaluna. Is I saying her name right?
Yeah, Zaluna, the Sullivan woman.
Yes, she comes into the bar, and at this point, I'm pretty sure Kanan's sitting at the bar with. What's that dude's name? I want to call my Opalika, and you totally made fun of me.
Opalika.
That's not what his name is. I'm sorry.
Okadiah. Y'all
are gonna make these names simpler
like
for me.
Like Okie-Day. He's almost a Jar Jar phrase.
He's gonna be Okie-Day then. So Okie-Day and Kanan were, you know, at the bar, which, you know, he owns the bar. Okie-Day does. So he's on the other side, you know, pouring the drinks, whatever. Da da da. And she walks in, and they were just talking about Hera.
Yeah.
At this point, he hadn't seen her. He'd only heard, or he barely saw her.
Yeah, barely saw her and heard her voice. Yeah.
Yeah, and he knows her name was Hera. And so when what's her Zaluna? See,
Zaluna.
I'm so bad.
Zaluna.
I'm so sorry.
I just call her the Sullivan woman because I keep forgetting her name.
That's not gonna help me.
That's what I called her the entire. Well, that's
Zuzu.
True.
Zuzu.
Oh my god.
Is wearing that little hood thing, and I think they think that she's walking in, and so they both are like, "Oh, that's not her." She comes sneaking in all weird because, you know, as you know, she was working there, and she knows where all the cameras are, so she comes like kind of sneaking in.
Oh yeah, she's hitting the blind spots.
Yeah, she's hitting the blind.
Which
you realize, but at first you think she's just being a weirdo because she's just kind of like ducking in and out, and they're like, "Oh my god, what's she doing?" And then she's like, "Can I get behind the counter?" Essentially, which, you know, it's a little bit more dialogue than that. But just to kind of sum it up for y'all, she gets behind the counter and ends up under the sink and ends up making it like a rat chewed like the wire to cut all the cameras and stuff off. And I thought it was really funny. And then shortly after, she freaks out because Skelly comes walking in, and so she leaves, and she's not seen. I don't think she's seen again throughout the rest of the chapters up to 30.
No, she ducks out at that point. I think it was when some trooper, or no, she said he's here or something like that.
It was Scully.
Skelly, yeah. Skelly came in and she freaked
ducked.
out and left. Yeah,
she ducked. And then once Skelly got in there and Skelly was being weird, whatever. Stormtroopers. Oh my gosh, this was cool though. This is what I thought was the coolest thing is Stormtroopers come in. And it even specifically said, I thank you so much because I thought it was amazing, but they specifically said 2 females and 1 male. Now,
which is something that we haven't actually seen in canon other than Phasma.
Right, like Phasma. I mean,
it's kind of understood that you would, but yeah,
female. Like no one else has ever said, "Oh, there's a female stormtrooper," or "There's a female like captain," or whatever their rankings are, whatever.
Right.
So I mean, this is like the first time they've actually like said 2 females and 1 male, and I was just kind of like, okay, all right, put your bad self, Star Wars. Put those ladies in there.
The ladies coming in to kick butt.
Right. Like, I mean, we've had plenty of women characters, but I think it's cool that they're kind of throwing them into Stormtroopers too, because it's like, women still exist.
They're not all aliens.
No, they're not all aliens. All the men dying because they're Stormtroopers, but you know.
Yeah.
But so Kanan gets this good idea to like duck Skelly.
Oh yeah, Skelly.
God, I'm sorry. Skelly. He's got to come up with a nickname too for him.
Scully's the X-Files. That's probably what you're thinking.
That's
I'm just
probably,
kidding.
I don't know. But they duck up into that room, him and Hera, and then he's like in there making these noises, sound like he's vomiting, like, bleh, bleh.
Yeah.
And Kanan's like, no, you shouldn't go in there, there's a Wookiee. And she's like, well, that doesn't sound like a Wookiee. The female stormtrooper does. And he just keeps going, bleh, bleh. It's really funny. And the stormtroopers end up leaving because they're like, nah, we ain't got time for this. And they're like, if you see anything, call the authorities. And they like duck out too. They're like, bye.
Peace, man.
We going. I just thought it was really funny. It was really clever. You see all the cleverness coming out in Kanan. Kind of like you see it in Rebels too, but like being the beginning of it, you still see like the little Kanan pieces that you watch in Rebels and stuff too. And I thought it was really nice.
Oh, definitely.
So,
I liked Kanan's little motto, the whole thing of if you want the Empire to leave, make them feel like they want to leave.
Right, yeah. He was like, if you want them to leave,
act like you're glad to see them,
yeah. Oh, yeah, that was funny, too, after the whole, like, right before everything blew up and he jumped over the fence, once Hera was coming out and all, and they were just kind of getting out of there, he even said that, too. He was like, you gotta be really friendly with them. It's like, that way, like, they don't want to be around you, essentially. It's really funny.
It kind of reminded me of, and I think I said this in the last episode, too, but it reminded me of the Empire Day episode, where they were doing the distraction and Kanan comes up to them, like, oh, Empire Day!
Yeah, you did. I remember you saying that.
That's just funny. What cracks me up, because it's cool seeing Kanan being resourceful like that, and kind of like a jokester, and, like, I mean, even though he's serious in his own right, but he's laid back. He's relaxed to himself and everything. Right. He's not worried about much and everything.
No, he's not. And I think that's what, I don't know, you kind of see that. And that's what I guess I didn't really like about this Kanan, is you don't see him ready to jump up and fight for anything, really, even though he still does, but you don't really see it because he keeps trying to act like he doesn't want to be that person.
Well, if you remember in the first season of Rebels, he was reluctant to be the Jedi too. Like, I mean, he still would fight.
Well, that's true,
but he would always use his blaster and everything like that. That's true.
Being a Jedi caused a lot more trouble than I feel like sometimes it was worth.
Yeah.
So every time they're like, you shouldn't have done that, Jedi. Jedi!
It was almost like it spurred them on every time.
Right. Jedi!
Jedi triggered.
You know, it just reminded me of, I don't know if I should even say it, but it reminded me of, if y'all ever watched Fairly Odd Parents, and the guy's like, Fairly Odd Parents! Just like when he did that, it just reminded me, he said triggered, and it's like, Jedi! Like, that's what it reminded me of.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Back on topic. Okay. But yeah, the book's really good.
Yes.
If you're not reading it, I recommend it. Like I said, it's my first Star Wars novel, and I think I started at a good time, too, after watching Rebels and all, but...
Oh, definitely.
But was there anything else?
I don't think there was anything else to cover. I think it's getting late. Yeah. I think that's why we're diverting to Fairly Odd
Probably
Parents.
So.
Some weird things are about to start happening, so we probably want to go ahead and...
Probably.
Go ahead and say goodnight. So, yeah. So, cool, guys. So, that's it for chapters 16 through 30. If you had a favorite moment or anything like that, leave it in the comments. Message us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Kessel Run Weekly. You can also find us on our website 24/7 at kesselrunweekly.com. And we will have these episodes live every single week. We're wanting to make this a staple and make it good because this is a lot of fun. Oh, you have something to say?
No, you're just shaking.
I'm shaking my life. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm watching the
shaking things.
But they feel dizzy because they're watching us like Bob over here.
My fault. But anyways, yeah, guys, so you can check us out at KesselRunWeekly.com. We're going to start doing these live videos as much as possible. I'm really digging the YouTube Live. This is the first time we've done this, so it's a lot of fun. And thank you all for joining. Thank you, Pete, Heather, Elizabeth, and any other person who is unnamed that may be watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll let you know when our next live show will be. And look out for our episode on Darth Maul this Friday. A lot of fun. Me and Heather got to record that, so you're going to really like it. So, guys, until next time, my name is Danny.
I'm Kristen.
And may the Force be with you.